Welcome to Insider Yachting. This is Market Watch Wednesday. We're still here in sunny San Diego. This is the last day that we'll be here with these guys. We're currently on a beautiful 90-foot motor yacht. It was a pleasure to help these Insider Yachting clients through this survey process, and you guys, you know who you are, so congratulations. We have around 40 boats come on the market this week over the last 7 days. Don't forget, we have full brochures ready to go for each and every one of them. Those brochures have all of the photographs, all the detailed descriptions, and the full specifications of the boat. So if you want to see any further information about any of these, then that brochure is really the first step. So let's take a look at this week's yachts. We're going from biggest to smallest, the first one here being Stargazer. Now this boat has been on the market before. It's much more competitively priced now. It's an older boat. It was actually the boat that was used in one of the X-Men movies for the yacht within that film, so you probably won't recognize it. They did a lot of CGI, but she's here. It's called Stargazer. It's asking $4.5 million. Boat's down in Curacao right now, so it's a little bit of a trek to go and see her. Does have 7 staterooms, so it's a pretty high occupancy boat. Beautiful old classic boat, lots of woodwork, so a nice project there for someone, but it is a project, and at that price you really have a lot of money to work with. She's built in 1964. It's 180 foot long, and she had a big refit over the last few years. She's gone in and out of the yards. Next one here is Samurai 1. This is an Astonda, 143 feet. Don't see too many of the Astondas with this kind of size range. It's built in 2007. They're asking pretty hefty asking price, almost $18 million. Has 5 staterooms for 12 guests. A couple of those rooms will have Pullmans. The boat's in Spain right now. Next is Salt Dancer. This is another older boat, launched in 1985. They're asking $1.25 million. It's built by Royal HUISMAN, so it's a good quality initial builder, but does need a lot of work. The boat's in Stewart in Florida, but nice for something to get your teeth stuck into. That one's 125 feet long. Next we have Tanusha. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. This is a Benetti, 120 feet long. They're asking, it's in euros, so they're asking $9,750,000. That conversion now is around $12.5 million. As 5 stateroom layout, it is a good charter option. It's there. I did a review of Domani, which is a newer 120 Benetti, so it's good to get the two brochures there to compare the two. But this one launched in 2010, so it's a couple of years older than Domani. Like I say, great charter option, asking $12.5 million. Anchor W, this is a Crescent. There have been a couple of Crescents come on and off the market over the last couple of years. It's 115 feet long, launched in 1997. They're not around anymore, the Crescent manufacturer. It's up in Seattle in Washington. Has 3 staterooms though, so it's really low on the staterooms. Would be great for someone that's looking to live aboard. Asking just under $3 million, so a fairly good asking price there. But be sure to do your homework on those Crescents, because they do buy and sell quite frequently, so you can get a good idea of what the actual sales prices are. Next we have Villa Bella 3. This is an old Denison, launched in 1991. The boat's in Singapore, so only really relevant to the people already over there. Asking just under $1 million. Great boat for that market, I think, certainly for that price, priced very well. Zanito 3. This is another Denison. This one's in Palm Beach in Florida. Launched in 1986, but a huge difference in price, almost $500,000. In fact, just over 30% more expensive than Villa Bella. Does have 5 staterooms though, same as Villa Bella, so nice high occupancy. But interesting to get those 2 brochures and compare the two. See, really is that price difference justified? Mizar, this is an old Benetti, launched in 1973. Has a 4 stateroom layout. Boat's over in France. They're asking almost $3 million, so fairly steep on the asking price there for an old 100-footer. That will probably be a aluminium frame, so aluminium hull rather. So definitely do your homework on that and get a pretty thorough survey on those hull platings. Impetuous, this is an Enasi. We haven't seen a new Enasi come on the market for a while. This one was launched in 2005, asking just over $6 million. The boat's up in Maine. It has the twin cats on board. Pretty low horsepower, only about 450 horsepower, but great fuel efficiency there from those engines. Has a 4 stateroom layout, so a nice expedition option there. We have a couple of Mangustas next. They're both over in Europe. One's in Italy, one's in Cannes. First one is 92 feet long. In fact, they're both 92 feet long. One is asking $9 million. The other is asking just over 4. And there's only about 5 or 6 years difference between the two. So certainly, if you're in that market, the first one being a new Mangusta, the second one being launched in 2008. So if you're in that Mangusta Express Cruiser market, then definitely get both of those brochures there. Full mile, this is a Johnson 87. There are a lot of these down in South Florida. This is in Jupiter. Asking $2.5 million, launched in 2005. It's a lot of boat for the price, but they do sometimes have some maintenance issues and build quality issues. But big interior volume, 4 staterooms, has nice split level, bit of a funky looking exterior profile, but they do appeal to a lot of people. La Louise, this is a Falcon. There are a couple of these here in the States, a lot of them over in Europe. This one is in France, in Antibes. Launched in 2008, they're asking just over $2 million. Has a 4 stateroom, pretty popular boats over there. They buy and sell fairly quickly. The next episode, this is a Van der Valk. This is a great quality to the product as a whole, but they don't have such a great pedigree as far as build history and a good following like some of the sort of high quality European manufacturers do. This is asking pretty steep asking price. It is a new boat, but they're asking almost $9 million, just over 8.5 in fact. Has a 5 stateroom layouts, nice big interior volumes. Boat's over in France. Has Volvo engines in there though, and at 85 feet I'd perhaps want to see something like the CATS or the MTUs on board. But a nice boat, beautiful profile to it, nice interior spaces as well. Liwan, this is a Choi Lee, launched in 2006. It's 84 feet long. The boat's over in Puerto Rico, asking $2,750,000. It has a 4 stateroom layout. It's that enclosed bridge style that Choi Lee made quite a few of these. There are a number of these that are priced well below that though, so do your homework if you're interested in that sort of Choi Lee heavy gloss wood sort of traditional interior. It's a Mariah 23. They don't give us the name. The boat's launched in 2006. It is over in Viareggio. It has 4 stateroom layout. They had a big refit done in 2011. They're asking just $1.5 million, so it's pretty good asking price there. Bet on it. This is a Leopard. Now the Leopards aren't built anymore. They're very similar, certainly going after the same crowd as the Mangustas are. The Leopards were a little bit better on build quality, I think, but with them being out of business now, that certainly hit the prices pretty hard. This one was launched in 2000, had a refit in 2008, has a 3 stateroom layout, which most of them do in this size range. The boat's 75 feet long and asking $890,000. That one's down in South Florida. Scorpio, this is a newer Pershing, launched in 2009. It's their 72. Not a bad asking price at $2.8 million. The boat's down in Miami, has the big high-powered MTU engines on board. 3 staterooms on that, so a nice sort of day boat or weekender express cruiser there. Certainly nothing that you'd want if you're concerned at all about fuel burns. They're not the efficient boats that you might be looking for. We have a 2013 Monte Carlo. This is their 65. I did a full brochure review of one of these boats. I also did a walkthrough during one of the boat shows, so you can find that on the website. Asking 2.3, just under $2.4 million. It has the 3 stateroom layout. I think it's the 75 has the 4 stateroom layout. They do a great use of interior space there. And this boat is down in Sarasota in Florida. Sarasota's on the west coast of Florida there, of course. Dancing Girl, this is an Ocean Alexander. We haven't seen a new Ocean Alexander come on the market in a few weeks, in fact maybe even a couple of months. This is their 65 version, launched in 2006, asking just under $1.5 million. Has the twin MTUs on board. This boat's in Seattle in Washington, and like I say, they're asking just under $1.5 million. Blue Heaven, this is a Hatteras. It is their enclosed version. It's an older boat. It's launched in 1989, asking just under $350,000. That boat's in New Bern in North Carolina. The 2003 Ferretti, asking right on $1 million. Has a 3 stateroom layout. The boat's over in China though, so again only really relevant to people that are over there. Tivoli, we've seen this boat come on and off the market a couple of times. This is a McKenna. Boat's over in Washington. Has 3 stateroom layout. Great asking price at just under $350,000. That was launched in 2000, and it's 57 feet long. Out of here, this is a 56 Navigator. The boat's over in California. In fact, it's right here in this marina. They have the 2 stateroom layout, so only really relevant for a liveaboard, someone that's not really concerned about housing or sleeping too many guests. They are asking just under $400,000. Boat was launched in 2002. Have a Carver, a 56 Carver, launched in 2006. This one's down in Fort Lauderdale in Florida, so very easy to see. They're asking $575,000, and it has a 3 stateroom layout, so the Carvers are great for that sort of high occupancy, large interior volumes there. And they're bought and sold very, very frequently, so not something that you're going to be concerned about getting stuck with down the line. We have a Neptunus, this 2006, asking $550,000. This is their sort of express cruiser style. Has the twin Caterpillars on board. The boat's over in New York at the moment. Has a 2 stateroom layout, so again just a nice sort of weekend express cruiser. Chimera 2, this is an Atlantis. Atlantis are linked with Benetti. It's launched in 2005. It's 54 feet long, asking only $360,000. The Atlantis did tend to ask a fairly high asking price for the overall quality of the boats, but they did capture a great market at the sort of size and price point that they were at. This one's in Italy. The boats are built over there, so they did sort of populate that market quite heavily, although they made pretty big play at the US market as well. I have a 53 AZIMUT. This is a fairly new boat, launched in 2011. The boat's over in Thailand, so only really relevant to people that are over there. Asking just over $1 million, so great asking price considering it's 2011. That has a 3 stateroom layout. One of the berths has a Pullman, so we can hold up to 7 guests. Jesters 2, we're coming up to the last few here. 53 feet long, launched in 1981, so a very old boat, only asking $225,000. It's a Hatteras, that classic old style, so a nice first boat for someone there looking to get into the industry. Another Carver, 2007. This is their flybridge version. They're asking right around $500,000. The boat's in Washington right now, has that 3 stateroom layout with the Volvo engines on board, which get pretty good fuel efficiency out of those too. That's 52 feet long, launched in 2007. El Conquistador, this is a Tiara. Tiaras are still around, still being built. They've been around for actually probably longer than you would imagine. This one is launched in 2003. It's down in Fort Lauderdale, so very easy to see. Has the twin Caterpillars on board. They're around 800 horsepower. Only 2 stateroom layout though, so just not really something that too many people could sleep aboard. But fairly good asking price there, maybe a little high at $435,000. Milko 2, this is a Ferretti, launched in 2008. The boat's down in Coconut Grove in Florida. Has the 800 horsepower MANs on board. 3 stateroom layouts, so great higher occupancy there for the overall size range. It's right on 50 feet. They're asking just under $1 million at 959. It's perhaps a little high on the asking price there. Cruisers yacht, launched in 2005, asking $330,000. It's a 50 foot. It's over in Jacksonville in Florida. Has a 2 stateroom layout. Prestige, 50 foot Prestige. This is a new boat, launched in 2013. Has a 3 stateroom layout, so great occupancy for the overall length. A good asking price as well, $795,000 when you compare that to the 2008 Ferretti. This has all the nice large hull side windows in it. The boat is over in Coral Gables, as I mentioned, has 3 stateroom layout. Good option there for sort of a small family boat. Miscat, this is a Grand Banks, their sort of express cruiser style that they call the East Bays or the lobster boats. Asking $649,000, is launched in 2003, so a little bit up there on price. Has the twin cats on board, very popular boat up in sort of Maine and New England area. Sea Ray 2 stateroom layout. This is their sedan version, but it only has the 2 staterooms. The boat's in Costa Rica, asking $299,000. That was launched in 2001. Shellback. This is an Intrepid center console that has sort of the small arch on it for the radar equipment. Asking $619,000. It's a 2009. That has the quad Yamaha outboards on it. So the Intrepids do ask a very high asking price, but that seems perhaps a little bit elevated to me. That boat's down in Fort Lauderdale, so easier to see. And the last 2 now, we have Sea Ray, launched in 2002, 46 feet long, asking just over $200,000. The boat's in Boca, again, easy to see. Nice, great day boat, express cruiser there at a pretty good asking price. And the last but not least is their Sabre, same style as the Grand Banks, the East Bays, that sort of lobster boat style. Launched in 2013, so essentially a new boat, asking $729,000. So you can see the difference there between that one, which is 10 years younger than the Grand Banks, and it's only asking just over $100,000 more. So certainly worthwhile getting both of those brochures as well. It has a 2 stateroom layout, and it's up in Rhode Island. So that's all of the boats that we have for you today. Around about 42 came on the market over the last week. If you want any more information about any of the boats, then email me direct at philip.bell@insideryachting.com, and I'll send you the full brochures via email pretty much immediately. Or you can contact us through the websites, and you can see some of the other reviews and things through there. So thanks for joining, and I'll see you next time.